Hi everyone, so today I'll be trying out Spellbinders' new stitching die of the month for October 2025 and also their embossing folder of the month in this video. So we have Peppermint Prancer here. I will say right at the top I'm not going to stitch anything today because I just got off of doing a lot of stitching and you're seeing a lot of stitching every day, so I think today we're just going to do die cutting, and I gear that sometimes towards people who get the deluxe caboodle because it's like the best value, and then, you know, maybe they don't do stitching, or maybe they don't do better press, or they don't have the better press, or maybe they don't have a glimmer or whatever. So I try to use the items in a way that would still work for a variety of people. So I will say initially these items were sent free of charge from my review. Of course, all opinions are my own, and the links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you for using those if you would like. I do have them for the US and the UK, and if you're watching this, that means the clubs are open for new signups. So if you want to pick out whichever club or the deluxe caboodle, you can do that today and going forward till just towards the end of the month. So we're just gonna get started. Okay, so this little guy, I kind of spoke on it in the initial video, and I'll link that video in the description box in case you want like sizing and those kinds of bits of information, because today we're just going to try everything out. You're supposed to have this little guy. He has his muzzle, his little nose, all his, antlers, and I can see that this piece is going to be big enough to also go into the eyes, so if you do it in black or if you do it in brown, you're going to see it through here, okay? So you have that, and then this little guy, it looks like his little belly, like, oh, it's cute, you can kind of make him look like this, but the intent is that his little legs are back here, okay, and then he sits on the O. And this month, the Deluxe Caboodle bonus item is a set of dies that will help you do the word U, so Y-O and then the U, with Believe in Magic, and then like for you. So for you, and it has the lettering for 4. And then you can use the other, die that's in there for other things. So you can do that, but it's very cute. But in my opinion, when I first saw this, I thought this was supposed to go under here, his little legs, and then that's like his tummy, you know what I'm saying? Or like he's holding the O, or he's behind it. Do whatever you like, but we will try them both out. Obviously, we're going to cut the pieces out, and we'll see what we settle on. So, let me put those bits to the side for now. Let me grab, I have a card base here, just black card base, A2 size, so it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I am so sorry that my camera is doing weird stuff. So that's my A2 size card base. I have a piece of white cardstock that I've cut down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm just going to run through the embossing folder. And just like that, just nice and white and like crisp. This O is pretty good size. So, maybe you're going to put your card together this way. Or maybe this way. I think it's going to be kind of tight. So it's going to be in this direction. But this is also just a toss of different things. So like, it doesn't have a direction in my opinion. But if you wanted to go this way and put it through this way, you can definitely do that. But that's because my cardstock is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Again, these oversized folders will definitely score an area that's 5.5 by up to 8.5, okay? But let me just run that through. Again, this is your standard embossing folder today. I'll be right back. I should probably not use this plate anymore, like it just recently cracked after like thousands of uses, as you can see, because this is the other one that goes with it. I mean, this thing has been cut into so many times. So I always cut into one plate, keep the other plate nice and crisp and pristine. But after a while, it does start getting marred up, and sometimes those transfer to your paper. So after, it's been a good long amount of time here that I've been using these guys, I need to go ahead and replace it. I have a blue set that I just recently picked up that's really pretty. It's like aqua color, so I'll start using those guys. And you know me, I still won't get rid of those other ones because you can use them for, here and there in a pinch. But anyhow, look how pretty that is. Again, we have the emboss. Again, this is standard emboss finish. It goes up, it goes straight across, goes back down. That's just how it does, the embossing. And then the deboss is also very pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, so that's looking really pretty. Again, I just like it nice and pristine like this, but if you want to do some inking, you can always do that. So with these guys, I think I'll go with a red circle and then white wedges. So if you have the stitching, let me get a little bit closer, you would have that, you stitch it up, and then you have these little wedges that are also stitched up. But I think I'll go red circle, white wedges. We need 4 of them. And then, you know, these pieces here are his little hooves, I suppose, right? So I'll probably run these through like a dark brown just to be cute. So I'll run these through a lighter brown for our little guy. Generally I go with an even lighter brown for this, but maybe a darker brown. I don't know. What do you guys do? Anyway, let's go darker brown with these two. Maybe if I can find two different browns, I'll go with like a medium color and like a darker one or something like that. Let's go ahead and do black antlers. So I'll run this through some black paper. And then the J and the Y for joy, I think I'll also run that through black just to bring back some of the black in the background, then so for the lettering to pop. Oh, sorry, we still have his little nose, so that's going to be red because I have a little Rudolph, of course. But you also have this inlay if you want to do the stitching. And then his little ears, I usually also go with like a creamy color, something lighter for his little ear pieces. And then you have a little, you know, holly if you want to do that. I will say there's a little circle here. Generally that's going to be for something, but I don't know yet. So I think I don't need that right now. So green and then red. And I'll be right back. Oh, you know what? It's the center of the peppermint, just so it looks finished. But either way, I'll run it through red paper. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Oh, you know, it just occurred to me after I was cranking out the white pieces. I'm like, oh, I have glittery white paper. That would have been cute. But, all right. So I'm starting off with the red glitter circle here. And then I went ahead and did the nose out of glitter too, which is, you know, a little different. And then the little berries in the center of the O. Okay. And I guess we need this guy too. All right. So a couple different things. We can take these pieces and go ahead and put those down. I will say, since I'm using glitter paper, it's hard to see through. I mean, there is nothing to see through here, I guess, because if I had done the inlay, then you would be able to see, obviously, these things. But you just go in the center. So basically, I'm just going to lay out 4 of these guys. Let me see. Oh, you know what? If they're 4, it should be evenly dispersed. So what I'm going to do is put it all the way to the end. Unless you want that red rim, because honestly, if you bring it in a little bit, you'd have a little bit of a red ridge. But basically, I'm going to line them up. The reason I'm saying that is because my paper is white in the background, so maybe it's nice to have that little differentiation from the red, but that's all right. Okay, let's bring it back. I have them facing each other. That way we know we're splitting them up evenly, right? And then this one can go in across here, all the way to the edge, and then get this last one over here. Hey, and I did a pretty good job, but it's not super perfect, but that's why you have that little dot with the hollies. So I'm just gonna put some glue there and then put this little guy on here. And I'm going with the red dot. I mean, if you want to go with the white or a different color, whatever it is, there you go. Okay, let's put this to the side for a moment, and then we can work on this guy. So in his little ears, I'm just gonna put a little dab of glue. Maybe, there we go. And then bring these over. I just did a cream color for the center of the ears. I don't know if they're symmetrical, but it was very easy to tell which one goes where. And then again, if you want to do any dimensional, you can definitely pop down some dimensional pieces. That looks so odd without the little center here. So let's get this guy going. Or a black nose would do too, but I went with a little Rudolph kind of look. Cute. And then this piece is going to go behind his head. So just in there. I know his eyes are going to have a little bit of glue in there. Maybe I'll get rid of that. Alright. So, like I said, if you make his antlers brown, he's going to have brown eyes. And so, I know this looks interesting. Like I said, it looks like he's sitting like this and his legs are open. But this basically goes back here. And I'm assuming the reason they have that shape is so that you know kind of where to place it best, which would be like right up there. Okay? So you're that dome area. But let's go ahead and get his little accents. There's a little pause here. So that one die had all 4 of these pieces, and then the smaller ones go down here. Oh, that's interesting. I was like, did I cut a piece off? But these guys flatten out in one area. I think I have those facing the right way. Oh, so cute. They're like little gloves. Just because they kind of stick out past his hand. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe put this guy together. And you know, you can put this cuteness wherever you want. This holly, oopsie. Maybe do more than one. Maybe it decorates the whole thing. I think I'm going to put it like on his little head. Or something cute like that. So let me clean up just a little bit because I think that's everything. I haven't put his body together yet, but I'll be right back. Okay guys, so let's get these pieces over here. And I think we're going to need to focus on this guy with our little character and then do the J and the Y, or the Y-O-U if that's what you're going for. Again, these can be stuck together, and you know, I mean, you can kind of debate, like, do you want to put it a little bit separate? It's supposed to look like he's like on top of the candy like that. I mean, if you want to squeeze it in a little bit more behind, you can do that too, right? It looks a little natural too. But essentially these two guys were supposed to be right on top. I kind of like the look of what I just did right now. So let me... Oh, and I guess the other thing is too, how high up or where, you know, on the peppermint are we going to be? I don't mind putting it there because it kind of separates the red with the red, you know, the white. Just kind of hanging on there. Trying to see if I really push down. And then this guy, I'm going to put glue on this part because I know that part gets covered up the most. But like I said, you can line it up with the top of his head basically. So he's supposed to be like that. So further down in here, a little bit further down in here, and then it looks like his little back is on there. But I did mine a little bit different. I already forgot what I did. So I did sandwich it in between a little bit. Should I? Let me see. Bring it up a little bit more. There we go. Something like that. Okay, that's what mine looks like. Cute. And I will say, I mean, this other part is a little bit further out because it's on top of all these different layers. But I'm going to put some glue here. Just get that glue down. And then I'm going to put it right in the center so I can see where my J and my Y should go. So like right here. He's so cute. It could go a little sideways too if you wanted it like that, you know. Aww. Should we do that? Should we do that? I like the way he looks a little bit tilted. Like it's just kind of rolling along with it. I'm going to hold this down and then I'll be right back. And I totally eyeballed where that is. Okay, I think we're good. And then our J and our Y. So again, where do you want it? Do you want it like right in the center? Do you want it so it looks like it's all down here? I think it needs to be very obvious. I think if you were to have like J-O-Y, maybe. But I feel like it needs to be pretty close to each other so it's very clear, like that's what we're spelling out. It's not just some random letters on a card here. So, pretty close to it. Maybe like that. Just kind of eyeballing center also. But wherever that is. And again, I mean, you can bring out your little guides that'll help you. But I'm totally eyeballing that. And then we have this little guy. So cute. Give it a little zhuzh, maybe a little something there. And I probably should look to see where I want to put it before I put glue on. Oh, that's so cute. Either one's cute. Okay, let's put it here. And that is today's card, again without any stitching, although it is the stitching die, but I do like that they make it so that you can use it, you don't have to use it. Maybe I should have gone a little bit lighter here in his muzzle instead of the darker brown, but that's what I did, and it really stands out. Right, there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. Images coming up again. The club kits are now open for the general public, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.